So, check this out, people. Every now and then, I'll go on YouTube and I'll type in AMC, right? Just to see what the news is out there, what the word is out there about the MOAS, the squeeze, right? That a lot of these YouTubers have been pumping. And so I ran into Boss Blunt's channel, right? I made a video about him a few weeks ago, right? And so this video again is about him, right? Because I just happened to run into one of his videos where he's talking about how much money you can make on AMC using a simulator, right? And so he's using a simulation, explaining to his followers how much money they can make on AMC if they had 5 shares, if they had 10 shares.
And so far we've made a profit of $377,000. Should I sell my other 5 shares or hang on to them? You know what, I think I'm going to hang on to them. Why the fuck am I going to sell them? I got 5 shares. I love AMC. I'm going to hold this shit forever. I might just keep these 5 forever. I already made $377,000, 7,541% profit gain just by fucking selling some here and there. Waiting, being patient, not selling it the first time that looked like things. Oh shit, look, there's 422. Looks like it's almost over. You know, cool. Whatever, I still got 5 shares AMC. I made $7,500, 7,500% profit margin, 377%. What the fuck? You guys want to see something else? Let's try it again. Let's go bigger. So yeah, let's take a look. We got 377 fucking K in the bank. What do you guys think we should do? I'm gonna hang on to those 5 shares. I don't need to fucking get rid of them. All right, let's restart this. So we just proved that even if things start getting crazy, it looks like there's still gonna be buyers and sellers out there for a while, huh? I think I did pretty well selling 5% of my investment here and there. Looks like AMC is still trading for around $215 a share after all that. Fuck 5 grand. My floor is 500 grand. Let's go 500 grand. All right, I got 100 shares. And I suck, man. I bought it at 70 bucks a share, dude. You know what? No, I bought it at $72 a share. I'm like one of the worst people at timing this shit. And I bought back in June at $72 a share. You know, and I'm not gonna lie. I bought way back when AMC was first climbing up into 10s. And I bought again when it got up to 72 and everything in between. Let's see, ready? Let's go. To the moon. What's gonna happen? Are we gonna crash and burn? What's gonna happen when, oh my God, this shit just got halted because it went up 15%, or it just went up, you know, whatever, 15% or whatever it is. And I gotta wait 15 minutes for it to come back online. Nothing, you know what you do? You go like this. And you go take a walk. You go walk your dogs. Holy shit, it's at $75 a share. Awesome.
And so I want people to understand how scams work and how scammers work. What you have to understand that is that while Boss Blunt is in his fancy home, driving his fancy car, taking his family out to dinners and smoking his fancy cigars, all he is doing is promoting his own business, his own personal business, right? And using YouTube to do that, using his influence by networking on YouTube and social media to get himself out there, to get his face out there, right? And the way he's making money and the way he's getting so freaking rich is not through AMC, it's through you. It's through the AdSense. It's through the nonsense that he's been pushing to the majority of those who watch him. Not just him, but others on YouTube. I'll give you a perfect example on how these lowlifes who promote this MOAS works, right? Now, I'm going to use the Marine for an example, right? Not because the Marine is a lowlife, because the Marine is one of the guys I respect the most, because he's honest enough to know and understand and remind his viewers that AMC and Adam Aaron screwed over those who backed him up, right? And who supported AMC. He's honest enough to tell his viewers that. And not too long ago, I watched a video on the Marine talking about how his channel is losing views because unless he's talking about AMC, he's not going to get any views. And so now he began to talk about AMC, right? Now I'm using this as an example, okay? Because what you people have to understand is this, that the only reason Boss Blunt gets the views that he gets and why he continues to push this nonsense and this narrative is for the same reason the Marine went back to talking about AMC, whether for the positive reasons or the negative reasons. Regardless, he's talking about AMC because he knows that the only way YouTube is going to push his channel is if he talks about finances, about stocks, or AMC and GME. And also I've noticed something that I continue to notice on not just Boss Blunt's channel, but other channels, right, like Boss Blunt's. I noticed that I don't see a lot of AMC videos that I used to see from the past. It's as if though little by little these lowlifes are deleting their AMC content, right? And if you watch his channel, you're going to see that a lot of the videos that he's made lately is about politics. He's slowly but surely drifting away from the MOAS nonsense because the majority of people who watch him are not real people. If you look at the average views that he gets compared to the amount of subscribers he gets, these people are supported by bots. These people aren't supported by real people. And those who used to be real followers of people like Boss Blunt have left, if they're smart. And those that continue to encourage people like Boss Blunt are just scammers, lowlifes who are in the play, who want to continue this narrative so that they can get bailed out. Okay, because the majority of those who have been in the game for as long as Boss Blunt has, they've all lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so these people need to get bailed out. They need to be bailed out. Now, Boss Blunt doesn't have to be bailed out. You know why? Because he's always talking about how fucking rich he's going to become. How fucking rich we're all going to become just because we're watching him or we're listening to the nonsense and stupidity that he keeps feeding the masses who watch him. And the fact is that he knows damn well, and he knows that everything I'm saying is true, that the only one who's getting rich off of sending this bullshit is him. You see, he's like those preachers who go out on stage talking about how God heals, how the Lord heals and heals and heals, and tells you to give him money. Give me money so that you can be healed. Give me money so that I can tell you that AMC is going to the moon. Give me money so that I can tell you that the MOAS is imminent. That we're going to be so fucking rich. You have to understand how scammers work, people. Scammers have the gift of gab. The majority of these people who... Do you think I could scam somebody with the way I talk? You think anybody's going to sit there and listen to me scam them when I can barely get a word out the way I do because I talk so slow? It's those who are fast talkers, who know how to move from one subject to the next subject really quick so that you don't notice the nonsense they just spoke in their last sentence. So they talk in run-on sentences before you can catch up to them. They've already moved on to the next subject. And you know, it's funny because me and Marantz Rants have this war, right, that we've had since the beginning. Well, not the beginning, because I didn't know Marantz Rant from the beginning. Okay, I just started following him a year and a half ago, probably, maybe a little less than that. And for those who watch me and know Marantz, you know that I used to follow him. I was subscribed to him on 3 channels that I own, that I have, right? And I unsubscribed because, look, you have to understand something, people. The way Marantz Rants talks, the guy is smart, right? The guy knows his shit. I'm not going to ever take that from him. And anybody who knows me knows that I was a follower of him. The problem with him, he doesn't know how to hold on to his subscribers, his followers, because he has no respect for anyone who have their own ideas, right? And a scam is a scam no matter how smart you are, whether or not you're telling half-truths or no truths, right? It's no different. And so I have to put Marantz Rants in the same category as I put AMC and GME pumpers, who claim that the only way you can make it is if you're in AMC or GME. Because you can't be biased, right? You can't be an influencer. Call yourself someone who knows what they're talking about because you read the books, the balance sheets, and you know all of this, and tell your followers that if they're not in GME, then they're not going to make it. That if they're not in GME, you can't be their friend. If they're not in GME, they're not doing it right. Right? I mean, the stock market is full of stocks, companies that are popular, that are successful, that make money, that earn money, that have been around for years and will continue to be around. You have stocks in the S&P 500, and yet you have people like Marantz Rants tell you that you can't make it outside of GME. And that to me is just nonsense. Not just to me, but to anyone who has common sense. Because it doesn't make any sense to a normal person who can see with their own eyes that there are people, millionaires, billionaires, who have made it by buying into stocks that are very successful. That there are people who have retired by buying into stocks that pay dividends, that are successful companies. I don't know anybody who's retired on GME. I don't know anybody who's retired on AMC. Yet, you have people like Marantz Rants telling his followers that if they're not in GME, they're not doing it right. That if they're not in GME, they're not going to make it. They're going to lose. A scam is a scam. I don't care how you put it, man. There was a commercial when I was a little boy, a Snickers commercial. No matter how you slice it, it comes out peanuts. And the market is the market, and no matter how you slice it, it comes out peanuts. No one is going to tell me that I cannot make it outside of GME. That is the stupidest thing anyone in their right mind could tell their followers. And rather than being unbiased, he comes off like those Democrats who have been claiming that the border was secure, while we see with our own eyes millions and millions of people crossing an open border, a wide open border, and yet these Democrats are in denial. He's no different. Telling people that outside of GME you can't make it when there are thousands, if not millions of people making it in the market outside of GME. And definitely outside of AMC. And so you have to understand how this game works, people. This is a pyramid scheme. You have people who bought in at the top. You have people who bought in at the bottom. Those who bought in at the bottom bought in as low as possible in the GME and AMC game. Those who bought in, actually those who bought in at the bottom, at its lowest, are halfway there. And those who bought in at the top, those are the ones who are at the bottom. They're the ones who bought in GME at $200 per share because they believed and were told, like people like Morantz, that it was going to the moon. So they bought in at the top because they were afraid of missing out. And so you got those people who bought in at the top, they're at the bottom. And those who bought in the teens or lower than that, they're in the middle. This is a pyramid scheme. These people are trying to get out. And so they have to influence those who follow them to jump into this pyramid so that they can slowly make it to the top, and then they can jump off before they go right back down again to the bottom of the pyramid. The pyramid scheme works that you have to bring in new people so that those who have been holding can get out. That's what GME is. AMC is no longer a pyramid scheme. The pyramid on AMC has toppled. There's no way that anyone is going to get out of that bought in 4, 3, 2, or last year into AMC. The only ones who could possibly make money in AMC are those who just bought in now or are just buying now at $3 and change. Hell, I got a put on AMC for $2 for March of this year. And I put this put in 3 or 4 months ago. I went long on this put because I predicted, this is my own opinion, that AMC would drop to $2 come 2025. And it's already almost there. And so, listen, people, those who know me know that me and Morantz have issues, right? Now, I haven't spoken about him, and I'm not trying to come at him, so if he has his goons watching me and then they go back to him and say, hey, Tanko Native is back, he's talking shit about you, and then he'll go on and he'll post a video about my looks and how slow I talk, but he can't say that nothing I'm saying isn't true, okay? All he can do is talk about my looks, but I'm 60 years old, bro. You're 41, right? And you look 70. And so there's a difference here. And again, I'm not trying to come at you, but I already know where you're going to go with the video you're going to post in response to me, right? You're going to go at my looks. I'm supposed to look this way at 60, okay? But anyway, and so people who watch lowlifes like Boss Blunts, people who watch people like Morantz Rants, and let me tell you, I don't think there's anybody smarter than Morantz on YouTube. He knows his shit. The problem I have with Morantz is that he has no respect for his followers. He has no respect for those who are subscribed to him. He has no respect for anyone who has an opinion. And again, going back to the Democrats, he's like those Democrats that if you're a Democrat, but if you have a small opinion outside of their woke stupidity and nonsense, they want to oust you. They want to cancel you, which is what he does to his followers when they even want to suggest to sell their GME shares, as if though someone doesn't have the right to do what they want with their own money. And I got a problem with that. And because this is how scammers work. They don't want you to leave. They want you in the game. They want you in the play. Each time someone leaves, they drop lower and lower in the pyramid. And they're trying to reach the top. And each time somebody leaves, man, they're like, what the fuck, bro? So they don't want to deal with you outside of GME because you're not in the pyramid club, in the GME pyramid club. And so people, you got to understand how scammers work and how scams work. And yes, I'm putting Morantz Rants in the same category as I'm putting Boss Blunts, as I'm putting Thomas James, as I put Trey's Trades, Lou versus Wall Street, Rico, and all of these other lowlifes who have been lying to the masses, because there's a difference. The majority of these people who I spoke about are stupid. They have no idea what they're saying. Morant is smart, and that makes him an even more dangerous scammer. Okay? An even more dangerous one, because stocks go up and stocks go down. Anyone that tells you that a stock is just going to go up and up and up and up and up and it's never going to go down, and it's unrealistic, right? And it's so biased that you can't relate to him and he can't relate to you outside of GME, and nothing else matters, not the S&P 500. If you're in this stock, you're going to lose. If you're in that stock, you're going to lose. You ain't nobody. Don't talk to me. I'm not your friend. But if you're in GME, welcome, welcome. Typical Democrats. That's how they are. And by the way, I know you voted Trump. So I voted Trump also. But I'm just comparing you to the low-life Democrats who shun anyone who has an opinion outside of their stupidity. And that's what you do. You shun and you disrespect and you lose followers and subscribers because, God forbid, that they should do what they want to do with their money. And so people, those who watch me, those who know me, my channel is going to become demonetized. I've been recently monetized about a month, 2 months ago. I have two channels. One channel has been monetized now for a couple of months. This channel recently monetized, and my subscribers have gone up. My views not so much, because in order for me to get views, I have to talk about AMC or GME. And this is why the Marine has had to return to talking about AMC and GME. Because if he doesn't talk about this, what YouTube wants you to talk about in order to push your content, they're not going to push your content. They're not going to push my content because nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to watch someone tell them that they're being lied to. Nobody wants to watch someone tell them that they're not going to make it, that they're not going to get rich, that they're being lied to, that the only way to get rich is to get a job, go to work every day, earn that $1,000 a week that's secured over sitting at home watching lies and nonsense and scammers and scumbags and lowlifes on YouTube tell you that if you watch them, you're going to become so fucking rich. And if you go back to Boss Blunt's channel, you're going to see what I see and you're going to notice what I've noticed. And that's that there are too many AMC videos that are missing. Because slowly but surely, these lowlifes are deleting the AMC nonsense, the AMC stupidity that they were sending to their viewers, talking about how people were going to become rich, how people were going to make billions of dollars by holding on to AMC, by buying and holding and continuing to buy and continuing to hold a low-life piece of shit stock that the CEO himself, Adam Aron, wouldn't hold to save his own life. If AMC was a life preserver on the ocean and his ship was going down, Adam Aron's, he wouldn't reach for AMC. He'd probably reach for Driftwood, because he knows that AMC is not going to hold him above water. He's smart enough to give away shares to his family and have his family sell them. And they, in turn, became the millionaires that the AMC influencers were calling out that you were going to become. You see, they've become rich. They continue to make money. And they're going to continue to make money because people like you watch them. You see, there's a sucker born every minute. And because there's a sucker born every minute, Thomas James, Morant's Rants, and people like him, right, Boss Blunt, they're not going to stop pushing this stupidity and nonsense. Stocks go up and stocks go down. Why don't these people tell you this? Why do they want you to believe that these stocks are only going to go up and that they're never going to go down? Why aren't they honest enough with you to say, hey, listen, there's a possibility that you will lose money. Not everybody who jumps into the AMC play, the GME play, is going to make it. A lot of people is going to win and a lot of people is going to lose. Be smart. Prepare yourself. Do they tell you that? Because that's the truth. No, they don't tell you that. They tell you that if you buy into GME, you're going to become rich. See you later, millionaires. We're going to become so fucking rich. Really? How do you pay the bills in that fancy house you live in, Boss Blunts? The AMC rich money you made? Or the money you make off of your viewers by scamming them? Because ain't nobody gotten rich on AMC. Ain't nobody got rich on GME. The only one who made it, the only one who played everybody was Roaring Kitty. He was smart enough to tell everybody that GME was going to the moon, and when he hit the clouds, he jumped off. While everyone came in late, bought in the nonsense, and are still sitting in that pyramid waiting for new suckers to jump in so that they can get to the peak and then jump off. So people, you gotta grow up, you gotta be smart, and you gotta watch your money. These influencers are not here for you. They are here to put out content that gets views. And nothing outside of GME gets views, nothing outside of AMC gets views. Okay? This is why the Marine, and much respect to the Marine, because he's honest enough to say it, he's had to come back and talk about AMC in order to bring his views back up again. At least he's honest enough to say it. And that's the difference between other influencers who come up here and simply bold-faced lie to you. Carifreco is what we call it in Puerto Rico. Because they have no shame. They show their face, they smile in your face, and they lie to you. And so I decided to make this video because going through my usual routine, right, which is checking on the information that people are putting about AMC and GME, I just happened to run into one of the lowest lowlifes on YouTube, Boss Blunts, again. And so I ran into a stupid video where he posted a simulation that if you hold a certain amount of stocks, you're going to make this much money on AMC. Let's see how much money people have made by using that simulation. And I have a question for you, boss man. How many people have become so fucking rich watching you? How many people do you pay to watch you as opposed to the people that pay you so that you could tell them that they're going to be so fucking rich on a play that you pushed and no one even came close to getting rich? You're going to talk about politics now, right? You're not gonna continue pushing the nonsense. You're gonna hope that they forget, right? You don't think that this is in the cloud, all the nonsense that you pushed? Tony DeNaro, the same, another lowlife, who then pretended that, hey, I never pushed the MOAS. I never pushed the squeeze. I've always been unbiased. People like that, they have something coming to them because the universe has a way of paying people back. Whether your wife leaves you, whether your children hate you, whether your car breaks down, whether you go broke, whether you lose it all, whether, however the game works, you're going to get yours. Everybody does. I know firsthand. I've experienced life in many ways. I'm not a young buck and I wasn't born yesterday. I'm almost 60 years old. I know what I'm talking about. And so I hope those who used to hate on me come back and watch me, because I miss it. I miss it the same way I miss it when a scammer calls me on my cell phone and I'm not able to pick up, because I enjoy communicating with scammers and scumbags, because I learn more. You understand? And I notice that those who scam people over the phone are no different than those who scam people through YouTube. You have those who comment and those who encourage those influencers by leaving positive comments on their channel. Those are the same people who call you for the Social Security scam, the same people who call you for the solar panel scam, the Medicare scam, the car insurance scam, and whatever other scam, Bitcoin scam. Those are the same people who call you, who leave comments on these people's channels and videos. You see, they need this. They need to keep pushing this so that they can scam people outside of YouTube. And I don't know how else to put it, because people don't want to hear nothing. People don't want to hear the truth. They don't like it. See, if I said to them, if the truth was, you're going to make $1 million, and it was true, they probably wouldn't listen to it. But because they're being lied to and being told, hey, you're going to make $1 million, then they listen to it. See, there's so many ways to make $1 million. You know how you can make $1 million? You get a job, you invest properly, you save money, you keep your money, and you get off YouTube. And you stop listening to nonsense, because this, for those people who are pushing this narrative, is simply entertainment. That's all it is. And they're entertaining you by hypnotizing you. They're hypnotizing you, and they're creating this delusion so that you can continue to click on their channel. And so this video has gone long enough for me. I hope that those who watch me understand what it is I've been trying to tell them from the beginning. I've been doing this for over 4 years now. And I remember the very first video I made on AMC, that AMC was not going to the moon, that they ain't shit on the moon. And that was the highest viewed video that I ever had. And I only had about 100 subscribers at the time. And that video hit almost 3,000 or almost 4,000 views. And every single comment, over 2,000 comments, were hate. Every single one. And I responded to every single one of those comments. Because I engage with scammers so that I can get the sense of who they are and how they deal with people. This is why I know firsthand that the majority of these influencers who talk to you, who push this AMC and GME narrative, are scamming you. As long as you continue to click on their channels, as long as you continue to click on their videos, and they get that ad revenue, that Patreon, the AdSense, the super chats, the super thanks, this is their career, man. Nobody wants to change. It's free money. It's free money, people. For a 10-minute video, for a 3-hour video live, you make a few $100s. You have these scumbags like PP, not the PP show, some lowlife who had some other scumbag on his channel. They had on a live, man, a 3-hour live. These people made about 25 grand in 3 hours, bullshitting people, telling people that they're going to become rich while taking their money and they themselves becoming rich off of telling you you're going to become rich. Just like those false prophets who tell you that you're going to be healed, give me my money, and you're going to be healed. And then they're flying their jets to their fancy homes in Malibu, their fancy homes in Florida, their fancy homes in LA, and you can't even buy a gallon of milk. And so, if you're still sitting on this stupidity and nonsense after 4 years, people, it makes no sense to me. I mean, I've heard of Stockholm Syndrome, and I've heard people use that term. I've never used it. I try to not follow the trend when it comes to what others do and others say. But, man, there is no other word to describe it. Oh, well, you know what? There is another word to describe it. Stupidity. Grow the fuck up, people, and get your money.